Hello and welcome to another episode of Lisa's Little Critters. Today I have my campground set up. The ski scape is taken down and this is my display shelf that I use to make my big displays. So since it's just about spring, I decided to refurbish some of my log cabins. So as you see, down front is a little road where we have, this is a Jeep that came with a Bluey, which is a cartoon character Jeep, and I just kind of painted out some of the blue part. I put a little boat on the top, and the mice, Mr. Mace's mouse and his wife, and the baby in the back seat, and it worked perfectly for critters. And there, for a Sunday outing, they're going to go down to the lake with their boat. So the next thing is the cabin. Now, this little cabin my son found at a thrift store. It did not come with the base and the stairs. So I had one of these. I had found this base here. And I had some railing that worked for the front porch. And of course, this cabin had a red roof, and I painted it green. I painted the details on the door and the window green. And I thought this would be a perfect place for my moss deer to be vacationing. Now, I'll show you something funny. This little moss deer, let me bring her, maybe I can bring her right here. There we go. She used to be a he. Do you see her little holes in her head? Someone had made this hat for her because his antlers had come off. So I have her as like a grandmother, and she is taking care of the little boy. I think, no, it's a little girl. Now, we'll turn this around. Now, it kind of gets caught on my tree here. There we go. You can see the side. And inside, again, I added some railing, and this base had the stairs and everything. Of course, no railing. I added that. And then inside, I have a little kitchen. I think that was a Fisher-Price kitchen. The table and chairs, I had to kind of cover a plastic chair and couch to make them look more realistic. And there's Mrs. Moss Deer. Upstairs, I just made the two beds so that they would fit the space. And there's my little girl up there. And she just looks really pretty in that little set. I did put some wallpaper up on the ceiling and used my straws. You see them back here in the corners coming down. Those were like, you know, what do you call them? Beams. And then I also, and there's a baby crib back there. And I painted it. It had been white. I painted it because I like everything matching. All right, and then what else was I going to say? The rug is just a trim that I had from a placemat, and in the middle I put felt so that it looks like a bordered rug. And I think that's all for this house. We can turn him back around. He just, now I did it. Well, anyway, we'll leave it for now. Okay, now we're going to go over to the next house, and hopefully it turns a little easier. I was so glad to have a place again. My moss deer are a very favorite family of mine, and then you all know I got these bouquet skunks from Ireland from a friend who bought them for me. And this is the cottage most people call the Lakeside Lodge, although I've heard other cottages call that as well. I just kind of redid the red, made it a little brighter, but this is something I wanted to show you, is the shutters. Once again, the shutters are the inside of the cardboard, kind of like we did the drapes. I cut off that first layer of the cardboard to reveal the corrugation, and I flattened the corrugation, and you really want it even smaller than this. Cardboard comes in all different size corrugations, and flattened it, painted it, and put a popsicle stick. I just sliced them and put around the edge, and I think it makes a really good shutter. Then I added this little garden out here, and I'm trying to get her a little watering can so that she can be watering the flowers. She, of course, you know, skunks. In Bambi, the skunk was called Flower. And so I always think of them as liking flowers. And then here's the deck. I don't have the hot tub open, but I painted around the door. I'll move little brother so that I can show you the door. There's the door. I just love to paint, you know, the different aspects. I'm just enjoy redoing things. It came with this railing, which came with the house, but I didn't have enough, and I had more of this railing, which goes to the tree house, I believe, so I added that. And now we're still having issues turning, and I turned them fine before I did this. Okay, here is the inside of the house. Now, I don't have any critters inside, but I had the little green table and chairs, and I thought they went well in here. And then I made another one of my lamps out of the pond. I've talked about the chess pawns and what nice little lamps they make. So there's a little lamp. I did not have the hammocks. I had one, not two. So this is wired burlap ribbon. It's available at any craft store, and it is the easiest thing to make into a hammock. And I just added like little sleeping pads and a pillow. Now over here, I just love this ladder. I'm going to pull it out, show you. It has like the black raised grid on it, like so you don't slip, and it looks like a wrought iron ladder, and it fit perfectly. Now I'm going to lay it down so you can kind of see in the living room. There's a couch again. That's a plastic couch that I covered. I believe it was Renwall. Years ago, I got a whole bag of damaged Renwall couches and chairs. The feet were off of them, and I just cover them and redo them. They are not difficult, and there you go. Then I bought this sink and oven set to go with it, and then that little cabinet in the back came too with that. So it all worked out. Now upstairs, I'm going to turn a little bit, and I'm going to take her out. I just put a bed up there. I kind of made the bed to fit the space. And then this little extra green chair, I have Mama Skunk, because she can see everything that's going on from up on the balcony. And I'll push her back. All right. All right, so there we'll go back, and then you can see that she's watching everything. And they have rented this cabin for a week, and they can go down and go to the lake. Now, we're moving on, and this is the actual campsite. This is kind of a combination, but these are my beloved raccoons. I love this family. I have a thing about gray families. I love the apple blossom gray squirrels. The skunks are kind of a gray, and then these are absolutely one of my favorites. This is a Calico Critter caravan. What I did to it to kind of personalize it is added this green stripe because it has green here and green in the front, and then that stripe wasn't painted, and to me it was just screaming that it needed that detail. Now the other thing I did, and I will take her out for just a minute, I can shut this door and show you the green, is this. This was on a little woodsy camper. I had made it. Well, there went my light. Sorry about that, guys. I caught my wire is what I did, so hold the phone for 1 second. And I see what happened here. Okay, now, but I think we still have plenty of light from this. Okay, so what I did with the little awning, I had cut out the material, and I had put like a spray adhesive type thing on the back so that when I cut the scallops, they wouldn't fray, and it just has a very simple frame. I wired it to the little holes in the roof where the bunk beds attach on the inside. Okay, then this little thing that looks like lights, now I gotta get it there, turned back, came off of a Barbie toy. Now, if I move this closer, okay, now we're good. Now, these are just a pole stuck in a button with the shank taken out. It leaves a hole, and then all I did, I don't even have to attach it. It just sits. And we'll do this one. It just doesn't even have to go in a hole or anything. It can just go. All right, and then she was sitting up against it. Okay, now we have our little raccoons. These baby raccoons just kill me. Their little faces are so adorable. They have a little picnic set up with sandwiches and plates and some bananas that I made out of air-baked clay. Well, no, this was actually oven-baked like Sculpey. This little picnic basket came with the van, and it came with the plates and everything, and I will show you more about that in a minute when we get to the van, because the van, I'm going to put her back in the doorway, and she's holding her other child like she's just coming out the door. Down front, we have a cousin who's visiting, and look what he's doing. He is roasting marshmallows on the fire, and Dad Raccoon, he's over here grilling, but he's keeping a close eye on this boy because he gets in trouble. As you see, this is the same fire pit with the mason jar lid that I used. I've used it with several different things, and these are just Coke caps with a brown put on the top, and you make the rings, and it looks like it's cut wood, and that makes a perfect little seat. Daddy is grilling hot dogs and hamburgers. Oh boy, that sounds so good. And he has a little spatula, and the funniest part is the spatula is glued to the grill, and then I have a little rubber band on Dad's hand so that he is attached to the grills because he kept falling over, so that way he doesn't. Now I'm kind of proud of this. I made a little igloo cooler. I'll put it down here, and all it is foam core that I kind of sculpted. Now, and it actually opens, look. There we go. I don't have anything in it. He's got all his stuff out there, but the lid closes again. And here's a little table I made. It has a drink and a radio. Nobody remembers transistor radios, but that's what that is. There's a little path that leads down through the campground to the van, and we'll look at that in a minute. Then Over here we have welcome to Camp Critter. Camp store check-in is one way, a nature trail is the other way, and fishing, of course, is down at the lake. These tents I fashioned out of fabric. I made a mesh for the windows, and they have windows on both sides, and those little windows fold down, and it also closes in the front if you want to. And I made sleeping bags to match each one of the tents. I think they're a little bit better and sturdier than the Calico Critter ones. And of course I couldn't afford those, so that's the way that goes. I make my own. And then the boys' tent is green, and they crawl in there together. And this is little brother. And once again, and there he went. Well, sorry about that, little brother. I think he was using the tent to kind of prop up there. And I made the little seats, which are just made out of toothpicks, crossed, and then fabric. They were quite easy to make a little camp seat. Each one of them has also a coat cap covered with a little disc on top, and they each have a flashlight and a drink, of course, outside their tent. Now, my van is Honeybee Acres, which I know is a knockoff that Walmart has made. But I think it works really well, and I've had other people say the same thing. Maybe we can put it down here on the road. There we go. What I like about it is that these doors actually pull out and open so that you have that space to get in. These doors also open, so that's nice as well. It has the rack on the top. It came with the picnic basket fully loaded. And then the other side works the exact same way. I have little suitcases up here that I found, somewhere. But on both sides, the doors open. And I liked that because it makes it easier to get the critters in and out. So there's my van. And like I said, it is not as high quality. And I think if you were playing with this as a child, the doors would probably break pretty easy. However, and this back opens too. So that's nice. And you have a seat back there, or that's where the picnic basket can reside, or whatever else camping stuff, your tents and what have you. Okay, now we'll put it back where it was. Okay, well, I hope that you have enjoyed my campground scene. I had a lot of fun putting it together. A lot of it I already had made last year. I had a big camping setup, but I wasn't filming then. And it just took up too much room, and I didn't have the cabin. So now when people come to this campground, they have the option of either bringing their own camper, or they can stay in one of the nice cabins that have been redone for them. All right, that's all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe to see more videos or share this video with friends, I'd appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Bye.